Hi, folks, and welcome to another Philos meal. We hope that you're seated comfortably with your afternoon tea boxes. We have a great program for you. We have Chris and Lauren singing, we have the quiz, and we also have an interesting interview with Tricia Neal, who is the main director for Alpha International. We hope you'll enjoy the program.
Hello friends, Chris here again. How are you? It's March 2021. So I'm just recording another song for you, and I hope you are all doing well. It's been a long haul, hasn't it? But here we are. Spring is in the air, bulbs are all coming up. There'll be the first cut of the lawn soon. How time flies. Gonna sing Is This the Way to Amarillo? Here we go. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la. Do 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 do. And the day is dawning on a Texas Sunday morning. How I long to be with Marie, who's waiting for me there, every lonely city, do-do-do-do, when I hang my hat, do-do-do-do, and it's half as pretty, that's where my baby's at. Is this the way to Amarillo? Every night I've been hugging my pillow, dreaming dreams of Amarillo, sweet Marie waits for me. Show me the way to Amarillo. I've been weeping like a willow, dreaming dreams of Amarillo. Sweet Marie waits for me. Here we go, everybody. Sha la 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 la. Sha la 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 la. Sha la 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 la. Amarillo waits for me. There's a church bell ringing, every song of joy they're singing for a sweet Maria and the guy who's coming to see her. Just beyond the highway, do-do-do-do, there's an open place, do-do-do-do, and it keeps me going through the wind and rain. Every night I'm hugging my pillow, dreaming dreams of Amarillo. The sweet Marie waits for me. Show me the way to Amarillo. I've been weeping like a willow, crying over Amarillo. The sweet Marie waits for me. Everybody, sha la 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 la, woo, sha la la. Amarillo waits for me, and again. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la. Amarillo waits for me, alright. Is this the way to Amarillo? Every night I've been hugging my pillow, dreaming dreams of Amarillo. The sweet Marie waits for me. Show me the way to Amarillo. I've been weeping like a willow, crying over Amarillo. The sweet Marie waits for me. Hey, sha la 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 la, woo, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la. Amarillo waits for me. Oh yeah. Sha la 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 la, woo, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la. Amarillo waits for me. I'm going to just put on now a video of Annie's song. I recorded this a couple of days ago, and probably my all-time favorite song to sing. So John Denver, of course, and Annie's song. I hope you enjoy this. You fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in the springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses. Come fill me again. Come let me love you. Let me give my life to you. Let me drown in your laughter. Let me die in your arms. Let me lay down beside you. Let me always be with you. Come, let me love you. Come love me again. La da 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 da. 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 Like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses. Come fill me again. Let me lay down beside you. Let me always be with you. Come, let me love you. Come, love me again. Hey, where did we go? Days when the rings came down in the hollow, and we were playing a new game. Laughing and a running, hey, hey, yeah. Skipping and a jumping in the misty morning fog without our hearts a thumping, and you, a brown-eyed girl. Tuesday so slow, yeah. Going down in the old mine with a transistor radio. Standing in the sunlight laughing, high behind a rainbow's wall. Slipping and sliding all along the waterfall with you, my brown-eyed girl. When we used to sing, sha la 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 now that I'm all on my own. Saw you just the other day in my, how you have grown. Cast my memory back there, Lord. Sometimes I'm overcome, just thinking about making love in the green grass behind the stadium with you, my brown-eyed girl. You, my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-dee-da? We used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-dee-da. Oh, we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-dee-da. Oh, yeah. Just like that, come on. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-dee-da. La-dee-da. Morrison. There you go, Brown-Eyed Girl. I thought I would just put this one on. It's a great Easter song of joy and hope. I think it's up there with Thine Be the Glory, which is, you know, your classic Easter song. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this. This is See What a Morning. See what a morning, gloriously bright, with the dawning of hope in Jerusalem. Folded the graves to fill with lights as the angels announce Christ is risen. See God's salvation plan, bought in love, born in pain, paid in sacrifice. Fulfilled in Christ the man, for he lives, Christ is risen from the dead. He is risen from the dead. See Mary weep, where is he laid? As in sorrow she turns from the empty tomb. Hears a voice speak, calling her name. It's the Master, the Lord, raised to life again. The voice that spans the years, speaking life, stirring hope, bringing peace to us. great hymn. Take care, folks. God bless you. Lots of love, and hopefully see you soon. Bye.
Hi everyone, I'm Abby, your Quizmaster, and welcome to this month's virtual Philos quiz. Firstly, I'd like to start by congratulating last month's highest scorers, and these people are as follows: Lawrence and Leslie Richardson, Anne Spresser, John Napier, Mary and Albert Garrick, Doreen Brown and Janice Miller, Gina Ferguson, Janice and Leanne Fahey, and Marilyn and Alistair Sutherland. And a special round of applause should go to Keith and Marie McDougall, who scored the top mark of the evening with an amazing 17 out of 20. So well done to you all, and well done to everybody that takes part. This month, we're going to make things a wee bit trickier for you, with the score to beat being 16. So if you do score more than 16, we'd love to hear from you. And if you please continue to text your name and your score to 0797 567 6102. As usual, tonight's quiz consists of 20 questions split over 2 rounds, 10 questions per round. So to kick off, we'll get going with round 1, question 1. So question 1 is: the Woolpack is a pub in which British TV soap? The Woolpack is a pub in which British TV soap? Question 2 is: the longest road and rail bridge in Europe connects which 2 countries? The longest road and rail bridge in Europe connects which 2 countries? Question 3. On the human body, what is the navel also known as? On the human body, what is the navel also known as? Question 4 is: what is the name given to the timing device which has sand falling from one end to the other? What is the name given to the timing device which has sand falling from one end to the other? Question 5 is: which famous businessman had cameo roles in both Friends and Only Fools on Horses? Which famous businessman had cameo roles in both Friends and Only Fools on Horses? Question 6 is: the Thomas Cup is awarded in which sport? A. Squash, B. Tennis, or C. Badminton? The Thomas Cup is awarded in which sport? A. Squash, B. Tennis, or C. Badminton? Question 7 is: what is measured using the Scoville scale? What is measured using the Scoville scale? Question 8 is: the first escalator in Britain was installed in which department store in 1898? The first escalator in Britain was installed in which department store in 1898? Question 9 is: in what month is the Earth furthest away from the Sun? A. July, B. August, or C. September? In what month is the Earth furthest away from the Sun? A. July, B. August, or C. September? Question 10 is: at a wedding, a bride is meant to wear something old, something new, something borrowed, and something what? At a wedding, a bride is meant to wear something old, something new, something borrowed, and something what? Now we will go through the answers for round 1. So we'll move back to question 1, which was the Woolpack is a pub in which British TV soap? And the correct answer is Emmerdale. So the Woolpack is a pub in the TV soap Emmerdale. Question 2 was the longest road and rail bridge in Europe connects which 2 countries? And the correct answer is Denmark and Sweden. So the longest road and rail bridge in Europe connects Denmark and Sweden together. Question 3 was on the human body, what is the navel also known as? And the correct answer is belly button. So on the human body, the navel is also known as the belly button. Question 4 was what is the name given to the timing device which has sand falling from one end to the other? And the correct answer is an hourglass. The name given to the timing device which has sand falling from one end to the other is an hourglass. Question 5 was which famous businessman had cameo roles in both Friends and Only Fools and Horses? And the correct answer is Richard Branson. So Richard Branson had cameo roles in both Friends and Only Fools and Horses. Question 6 was the Thomas Cup is awarded in which sport? A, squash, B, tennis, or C, badminton? And the correct answer is C, badminton. So the Thomas Cup is awarded in the sport of badminton. Question 7 was what is measured using the Scoville scale? And the correct answer is the heat of chilies. So the heat of chilies is measured using the Scoville scale. Question 8 was the first escalator in Britain was installed in which department store in 1898? And the correct answer is Harrods. So the first escalator to be installed in Britain was in the department store of Harrods. Question 9 was in what month is the Earth furthest away from the Sun? Was it A, July, B, August, or C, September? And the correct answer is A, July. So in what month was the Earth furthest away from the Sun? And the correct answer is A, July. And question 10 was at a wedding, a bride is meant to wear something old, something new, something borrowed, and something what? And the correct answer is blue. So at a wedding, a bride is meant to wear something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. So moving on to round 2, which takes us to question 11, which is in 1995, who had a hit with the song Mysterious Girl? In 1995, who had a hit with the song Mysterious Girl? Question 12 is what is the name of the pig depicted on the M&S Jelly Sweeties? What is the name of the pig depicted on the M&S Jelly Sweeties? Question 13 is what is a more common term for halitosis? What is a more common term for halitosis? Question 14 is snow and barn are breeds of which animal? Snow and barn are breeds of which animal? Question 15 is what is the official currency of Japan? What is the official currency of Japan? Question 16 is what type of animal was the subject of the book Black Beauty? What type of animal was the subject of the book Black Beauty? Question 17 is in which English seaside town was the TV series Fawlty Towers set in? A. Bournemouth, B. Penzance, or C. Torquay? In which English seaside town was the TV series Fawlty Towers set in? A. Bournemouth, B. Penzance, or C. Torquay? Question 18 is what do you call the upward growth of mineral deposits found in a cave? What do you call the upward growth of mineral deposits found in a cave? Question 19 is pasteurisation occurs at what temperature? A. 63 degrees, B. 73 degrees, or C. 83 degrees? Pasteurisation occurs at what temperature? A. 63 degrees, B. 73 degrees, or C. 83 degrees? And our final question is question 20, which is which gulf does the Mississippi River flow into? Which gulf does the Mississippi River flow into? So it's answers time again. So we'll move back to question 11, which was in 1995, who had a hit with the song Mysterious Girl? And the correct answer is Peter Andre. In 1995, Peter Andre had a hit with the song Mysterious Girl. Question 12 was what is the name given to the pig depicted on the M&S Jelly Sweeties? And the correct answer is Percy. So Percy is the name given for the pig depicted on the M&S Jelly Sweeties. Question 13 was what is a more common term for halitosis? And the correct answer is bad breath. So a more common term for halitosis is bad breath. Question 14 was snow and barn are breeds of which animal? And the correct answer is owl. So snow and barn are both breeds of owls. Question 15 was what is the official currency of Japan? And the correct answer is the Japanese yen. What is the official currency of Japan? And the correct answer is the Japanese yen. Question 16 was, what type of animal was the subject of the book Black Beauty? And the correct answer is a horse. So a horse was the subject of the book Black Beauty. Question 17 was, in which English seaside town was the TV series Fawlty Towers set in? A. Bournemouth, B. Penzance, or C. Torquay? And the correct answer was C. Torquay. So the English seaside town which TV series Fawlty Towers was set in was C. Torquay. And question 18 was, what do you call the upward growth of mineral deposits found in a cave? And the correct answer is stalagmites. So stalagmites is the name given to the upward growth of minerals found in a cave. Question 19 was, pasteurisation occurs at what temperature? A. 63 degrees, B. 73 degrees, or C. 83 degrees? And the correct answer was A. 63 degrees. So pasteurisation occurs at 63 degrees, which was A. And our final question was question 20, which was, which gulf does the Mississippi River flow into? And the correct answer is the Gulf of Mexico. So the Mississippi River flows into the Gulf of Mexico. So thank you all for joining and going through the quiz with me. Next up in our programme, we have Lawrence, who's prepared a couple of songs for us. And Lawrence will be then followed by a short clip of John Archer, who is our special guest for next month's Philos meal, which will be taking place on Thursday, the 29th of April. So I'll see you all again then.
I see a big moon rising. I see there's trouble on the way. I see earthquakes and lightning. I see bad times today. Well, don't go around tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. I hear a hurricane blowing. I know the end is coming soon. I fear the rivers overflowing. I hear the voice of raging ruin. Well, don't go around tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Hope you have got your things together. Hope you are quite prepared to die. Looks like we're in for nasty weather. One eye is taken for an eye. Well, don't go around tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Well, don't go around tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. This happened once before. I came to your door, no reply. They said it was not you. I saw you peep through your window. I saw the light. I saw the light. And I know that you saw me, 'cause I looked up to see your face. Tried a telephone, said you were not home. Well, that's a lie, 'cause I knew where you've been. I saw you walk in your door. I nearly died. I nearly died, 'cause you walked hand in hand with another man in my place. Well, if I were you, I'd realize that I love you more than any other guy. And I'll forgive the lies that I heard before, when you gave me no reply. Tried a telephone, said you were not home. Well, that's a lie, 'cause I knew where you've been. I saw you walk in your door. I nearly died. I nearly died, 'cause you walked hand in hand with another man in my place. No reply, no reply.
He's the greatest comedy magician you'll ever see. Let's hear it for Mr. John Archer.
We're joined by magician extraordinaire, Mr. John Archer. Thank you. Hello.
John Archer kissed me.
He's happy to be here.
You're going to love him, Mr. John Archer.
Good evening, hi, it's good to see you all. It's good to be here. My name is, as you know, it's John Archer. I'm a comedy magician. I tell you that all nice and early because you're all looking at me at the moment thinking he looks more like a builder. So I thought you might want to see a picture of me. Look, that's me there. So I got one printed out, just because obviously you might forget who I am without having a picture behind to reference to. So if you just excuse me a second. What? That's what I thought you said. I mean, if I had 20 quid for every time somebody shouted, "Do it again!" How about that much, ladies and gentlemen? Look at that! Hey! Not now. No, please. It was actually nearly finished then. I put my father in a liquidizer, now I'm drinking pop. There we are. That's it.
John Archer will always be special to us because he was our first.
80. £100.
Just silly. It's not really supposed to fool us.
I didn't stand a chance! I'm not Darren Brown! Or Dinah Rudd! Was it Dunbury? It was Dunbury! Thank you! The King of Hearts, the Two of Spades, and the Six of Diamonds. If I've named your card, would you sit down, please? Oh!
John Archer got a standing ovation in the Penn and Teller Theater. Got a standing ovation in the Penn and Teller Theater without Penn and Teller on stage.
It felt a little bit gladiatorial.
I think you could put John almost anywhere, and he would absolutely kill.
Hello, Tricia. We're glad that you could join us tonight for our Philos meal. We're excited to hear what you have to say and what you have to tell us. I've just looked you up on the internet, and I'll just read what it says here. It says, Tricia Neal is the president of Alpha International. Tricia joined HTB in 1994 from News International, where she headed up News International exhibitions. Prior to that, she worked in the Middle East for Shell, and Tricia sits on the boards of numerous Alpha offices worldwide. So we'd really just like to give you a big welcome, Tricia. Thank you again for joining with us and agreeing to be interviewed. I think Brian's got the first question.
So Tricia, this sounds like you're a real powerful career woman, and you've had some interesting jobs in the past. But I'd like us to start off with just to go a bit further back. Can you just tell us a wee bit about your background, where you were brought up, and what life was like for you when you were young?
Yeah, I like the way you say, just go back a little while. I have to go back quite a long way, Brian. So, but anyway, I was brought up in Northumberland, and my parents were real sort of family people, and they did it without a lot to make sure that my brother, sister, and I had a good education and, the best possible start in life. And I think I was always quite a rebellious. I was the middle one, and I don't think I was ever satisfied. I was always wanting more. So, but there's a lovely connection. My mother was Scottish, my father was Irish, and we spent a lot of our holidays up in Scotland. So, every summer we'd pile into the car and up we'd go. We'd go up to Rosemarkie on the Black Isle. We'd go to Crieff. We'd go over to Shieldig, up to Glen Shee and places like that. We just loved our summer holidays up in Scotland. So that's why I've got a great affinity with you both. During my childhood, my parents took me to church. So I used to go to the Sunday school, and I used to go to the youth group. I mean, I only went to the youth group just, because of the boys, and that's really why I went. And but I remember when I went, when I was leaving school and I was getting ready to go off to college, I knew then, I made a conscious decision that, the church was not for me. And I wanted to be in control of my own life, and I wanted to do my own thing. And I didn't want to have to be, I just didn't want any of that God stuff in my life. So actually that's what happened when I left home at 18 to go to college. I don't think I ever went back to church again for many, 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 many years. And I actually went and I trained as a teacher, English and drama. And I did teach for a few years in quite a rough estate in Newcastle. And but I just was always champing at the bit, thinking there must be more to life than I was experiencing. And I got offered a job to go and work for Shell out in the Middle East. And I'd never even heard of the country I was going to. I was being sent to the Sultanate of Oman. And the only country I'd heard of in the Middle East at that time was Saudi Arabia. But anyway, off I went to the Sultanate of Oman. And honestly, from the moment I got there, I completely loved it. I had a complete and utter wild ball of a life. It was just amazing. And I think my life wasn't, well, there was quite a few complications in my life living out there. And basically I lived with somebody for a long time when I was out there. But at the end of the day, I found that I didn't trust. There was no trust in the relationship. And so I left Oman. It was the only way that I felt that I could save myself from you know, having no, well, just completely losing confidence in everything that I was doing because of that relationship, which was slightly, it was a very addictive relationship, but anyway, it was a bit a messy relationship. And so I arrived in London, and through a number of contacts that I had in London, I'd never lived in London. I'd literally gone from Northumberland to the Sultanate of Oman. And so I arrived in London, somebody lent me their flat there. And through a number of contacts, I got headhunted to go and help spearhead a new division for Rupert Murdoch at News International. And so, you know, I was really thrilled. It was a great job. And I had the opportunity that I was going to be made a director there. And, you know, life was pretty good and pretty fun. But the only thing was that if I'm honest, at that time, I felt disappointed with the way that my life had turned out, because you know, I felt that relationship I had in Oman was the one that was going to take me through the rest of my life, and it didn't. So I was pretty battered by that. And there was somebody that I met at, I love playing tennis, and somebody that I met playing tennis told me about the Alpha course, and it was running at her church. This was in 1993, and there was one Alpha course running in the entire world at that time, and it was at this church called Holy Trinity Brompton in London. So I went along with her to one of the evenings, and she persuaded me to come because she said I'd get a nice meal, a little bit like what you do. You know, you're amazing what you two do during this evening and sending meals around to everybody's homes. It's just an incredible thing that you do. But anyway, I turned up and I got a nice meal and I met some nice people. But I heard this talk by somebody called Nicky Gumbel, and I really did not like it because it challenged me too much, and I was scared of it, I think. And so I told my friend at the end of the evening, thank you very much, but please don't mention it to me ever again, because I'm really not interested. And I thought I'd got away with it. And but a week later, I was coming out of my house. I was just going off to work, actually, and my neighbor across the road, she was a most lovely girl, and she was pregnant. In fact, she just had her baby. And I went across the street, you know, to say hello to her and meet the new baby. And the mother, my friend, started crying, and she told me that she'd found out on the day that she'd gone in to give birth to her baby that her husband had been having an affair with his secretary. And she found that out on the day she was giving birth to her first, you know, her first child. And I just felt so sorry for her, and I just didn't know how to help her. And I knew what that lack of trust felt like, and, you know, I was desperate to support her. And I suddenly heard coming out of my mouth, well, maybe you should go and do Alpha. And then I heard myself say, if you want to go, I'll go with you. And that's how I found myself going to Alpha, because, and for people who don't know, Alpha is a course which you know, explore Christianity and have the opportunity to just see if Jesus is real. And it's just a fun course, great meals, lots of wonderful people, great conversation, non-threatening, and, you know, it's just it's a wonderful environment to go to. And so this friend and I started going the following Wednesday, and it was life-changing for me. I just realized what I've been searching for all my life. And and then it was quite funny, because at my workplace at News International, everyone kept saying to me, where do you go on a Wednesday night? because Wednesday night was Alpha night, and I didn't go to the pub with all of them. On every other night I'd go to the pub with them after work, but not on a Wednesday night. I'd shoot off somewhere, and I think they all thought I had a new boyfriend, you know. But anyway, I plucked up courage after I finished doing Alpha, and I said to them, you know, if do you want to know where I've been? Because if you'd like to, why don't you come with me? And out of 26 people in my department, 16 of them said they would like to come and explore. So 16 of them came along for one night, and 4 of them went on to do the whole course. And, you know, that was, it was such an encouragement, you know, for me. And one of them now, believe it or not, is an ordained Anglican minister in the Church of England. So it's, you know, quite extraordinary. So it was just very fun doing the course with them all. And
that's interesting what you have to say about friendship evangelism, because that's really what it was, wasn't it? I mean, it was about bringing your friends and introducing them to the church through an Alpha program. And that's what we've tried to do with the Philos meal. It's about friendship evangelism, and it relies heavily on the people within the group, like who are the hosts, inviting their friends and neighbours and contacts to come along and share in the good news.
Yeah.
And also many years ago when I was in social work, and I was in fostering and adoption, and we used to do these fostering campaigns, and that was the best ways that we had to actually get new recruits, was to actually get the foster parents to invite other friends and family to actually come along and hear more about fostering.
Yeah.
So it is one of the most successful ways of actually recruiting people, rather than spending loads and loads of money in advertising campaigns. Actually, friendship evangelism or whatever, certainly works. And I think, I mean, you would go on to say that that certainly is true of Alpha,
yeah,
of how it has developed and grown through this friendship evangelism. Do you want to maybe just say a wee bit more about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, most people go on an Alpha course because a friend invites them. You know, I was invited by my tennis friend. I invited my neighbour, and we went together, which I think is hilarious that I invited her. I didn't even know what it was I was inviting her to at the time, but I just sensed it would be a good thing for her. I didn't necessarily think it was going to be good for me, but I thought it was good for her. And then, of course, all those, you know, from my workplace. And then since then, I mean, during the COVID season, I mean, we've just seen, you know, people have you know, the rug was taken under people, you know, away from under people's feet. Everything that they knew as their normal was suddenly gone. And I had, at the same tennis club, which I've played in ever since I came back from the Middle East in the early 90s. And when I did Alpha in 93, I started asking my friends who I played tennis with and said, would you like to come and do Alpha? And I'd invite them periodically over the years. And I used to have, well, I had zero interest. None of them ever wanted to do it. And then when COVID happened last year, and, you know, we pivoted everything online, just like we're doing this supper tonight online. We did the same with Alpha all around the world. And I thought, well, I'm going to run one from my home because I've got lots of spare time. I'm not traveling around the world. So I may as well do that. And I'd like to do it. So I started asking my tennis friends again, who I had asked and asked and asked with zero interest. And they were like a pack of cards. I asked one, they said yes. I thought, oh, that's good. Then I asked another and another and another. Every single one of them, so 11 of them, none of them went to church. They all came and did Alpha. We started it in April, didn't lose anybody. And the first week, I could not believe the conversation, because these are friends that I'd had for years. Every Saturday we have a coffee after tennis, we talk. But on that first week on Alpha, I was hearing things that I'd never heard from some of them. They were just felt safe to share because they were in their own homes, you know, they were safe behind a computer screen. And so every single one of them went through and did the whole Alpha course. I can tell you, I was very scared on, the weekend away. Because it's, it's nerve-wracking, but it was just the most amazing thing to see. These friends of mine saying, "Thank you so much for praying for me, Trish. Nobody has ever prayed for me in my entire life. That was the first prayer anyone's ever prayed for me." And, it was incredible. So they didn't want to stop Alpha. So they still think they're doing Alpha. We're still going every week. I've now been doing 2 books, Nikki's books, 30 days. I've done Life Worth Living. So we meet every Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock, just for an hour. And they've said it's been the best thing that's got them through this, very strange time. We pray for one another every week. They now are taking it in turns to lead the sessions. And that's less than a year ago, so it's incredible that just to see that. It's been amazing.
Can I just ask, Tricia, how many Alpha courses have been run to this point throughout the world?
Well, last year, I think there was something like 22,000 courses running around the world, and in 140 countries and in 100 languages.
And how many people do you estimate have done Alpha in the world to this point?
About 25 million people have gone through.
And
I'm one of them.
Well, folks, we're really run out of time today.
Oh.
I would just say to round up that if you get the opportunity to do Alpha, we've done it, Tricia did it, it's had a big positive impact on all of our lives. But if you get the chance to do Alpha and you haven't done it, you really should do it, because it's an amazing experience. And in many cases, it is completely life-changing. So thank you, Tricia, for joining us today.
Pleasure. Thank you both so much. Thank you.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed today's program again, and we're looking forward to hearing John Archer at our next Philos meal. If you've been interested in what Tricia had to say about Alpha, our church is running an Alpha just now. So why don't you maybe contact Abby if you're interested in doing Alpha or in joining Alpha at some point, because I've done Alpha a couple of times myself, and I can tell you, it's a great program. I made many new friends, really enjoyed doing it. And the questions that it raises are really interesting. It's a great format for discussion and friendship. Now we're going to finish off with the Scottish blessing. I hope you enjoy it.
Can be a grass for you. Good talk, egnu shirut, agashi hoshgut. Can be ami, and cheernu, good chadri. Can be a grass for it. Good talking, egg nursery, agashi hoshgut. Amen. Scarpianoch, Milia Kinyoch, a Chuchava, Certa Helloch, Stochuch Holanye, Sinkuch Holanye, Sinkuch Holanye. May his favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family, and your children, and their children, and their children.
Bigger grassers, Scarpianoch, Milia Kinyoch.